My name's Julian Hayes, and today is my 35th birthday, or at least that's what MIA told me when she insisted on throwing this party. I've always been a simple guy, didn't need much to be happy. A quiet life, a good wife by my side, maybe a handful of kids running around someday. That's all I ever wanted. Willow Bend felt like the perfect place to build that dream. It's one of those tiny small towns you see in movies, tree-lined streets, friendly smiles, the kind of place where everyone knows your name. When I met Mia Grant 3 years ago, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. She was stunning, long dark hair, brilliant green eyes, and a smile that could light up a room. But it wasn't just her looks. She had this sharpness about her, a way of seeing the world that pulled me in. Of course, she came from money. Her parents, Clive and Rosalind Grant, were big shots around town, controlling half the businesses on Main Street, hardware stores, boutiques, cafes, even the little movie theater with the flickering sign. Me? I was just an outsider. A guy who'd clawed his way up from nothing. No family name, no inheritance, just an aptitude for tech and a lot of hard work. I built my own consulting firm from the ground up, helping small businesses with their websites and systems. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Mia said she loved me for that, for my strength, my ambition. I believed her. I thought we were a team. So when she insisted on throwing this party, I didn't think much of it. "Let me spoil you for once," she'd said, sliding her hand across my cheek. "You deserve it, Julian." I smiled and nodded, figuring it would be a good night, some drinks, some laughs with friends, maybe a cake. I didn't need anything extravagant. But Mia loved a good show. The Willow Bend Country Club was her family's territory, polished marble floors, chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, waiters in spotless uniforms gliding around with trays of champagne. I'd been here before, usually for her dad's business dinners. I never quite fit in among the suits and polite conversation, but tonight was different. Tonight was supposed to be about me. I put on my best jacket, a dark blue one Mia had picked out for me last Christmas, and drove up with a grin on my face. The parking lot was packed, cars lined up like something big was happening. I figured she'd gone all out, maybe invited some of the guys I worked with, the neighbors we'd had over for barbecues. I walked up the stone steps, waved at the doorman, and stepped inside. The room was filled, just as I expected. Familiar faces, Tom from the hardware store, Lisa from the bakery, even my buddy Mike who'd helped me fix my truck last month. They were all dressed up, smiling, raising their glasses like they were celebrating something. I felt a swell of gratitude. Mia had really done this for me. I scanned the crowd for her, ready to pull her into a hug to thank her for making me feel so special. But then I stopped. Something wasn't right. The air felt heavy, like everyone was holding their breath. There were no balloons, no streamers, none of the usual birthday decorations. And then I saw it, the long table at the center of the room. No cake, no presents. Just a stack of papers and a bag, my suitcase, the one I kept in the top of the closet at home. My stomach twisted. I looked up, and there she was. Mia. Standing tall, arms crossed, expression cold. Beside her stood a man I didn't recognize, slick-looking, wearing a suit that probably cost more than my car. Her parents were there too, Clive, with his stern jaw, Rosalind's lips pressed into a thin, disapproving line. And the crowd, they were silent now, watching, waiting. Mia took a step forward. "Happy birthday, Julian," she murmured, her voice flat. Or maybe I should say goodbye. My heart started pounding. My mind raced. What the hell was going on? I took a step forward, my hands clenching at my sides. This wasn't a celebration. This was a setup. And I wasn't about to let it end the way they wanted. I turned back to the TV, letting the film play. Every second was another nail in their coffin, and I wasn't stopping it. My phone buzzed. 1,000 watchers now. Word was spreading rapidly. I leaned in close to Mia, keeping my voice low so only she could hear. "You should have known better," I said. "I don't break easy." She didn't say anything. Just stared at me, like she was seeing me for the first time. Maybe she was. I stepped back, letting Dana take over. Her voice cut through the commotion like a razor. "We're just getting started," she said to the Grants. "You'll hear from us and the cops very soon." I stood there, watching it all, feeling the power shift. They'd thrown me a false party to get rid of me, but I turned it into their downfall. And I wasn't done. Nevertheless, I saw the Willow Bend Country Club erupt around me, the commotion I'd unleashed swirling like a whirlwind. The enormous screen still flickered with Clive's voice admitting to fraud, Mia's affair with Caleb repeating on a loop for anyone with a phone to see. Over 1,000 people were watching online now, and the room was in chaos, shouting, gasps, and flashing cameras. My lawyer, Dana Roth, stood beside me, cold as ice, her court orders spread out on the table like a winning hand. My suitcase and those bogus papers were still there, but they didn't matter anymore. This wasn't about me leaving. It was about them losing. Mia's face was white. Her hands squeezed into fists. For the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. Caleb had backed off, lurking near the edge of the crowd, like he could slide away unnoticed. Clive was roaring, his voice hoarse, while Rosalind tried to pull herself together, dabbing her tears with a tissue. The crowd was feeding off it, some terrified, some cheering, all of them hooked on the drama. And me? I felt alive. Like I'd finally gotten back what they tried to steal. Dana flipped through her folder, her voice breaking over the noise. "Mia, you've been misusing joint assets for months," she said, holding up a bank statement with my name on it. "You poured money into shell firms, believing Julian wouldn't notice. But he did. And under state legislation that entitles him to a spousal transfer, 30% of Grant Holdings is his, effective immediately." The word struck like a bomb. Mia lunged at me, her nails out like claws. "You think you're clever?" she spat, her voice quivering with wrath. I stepped aside, keeping my cool, letting her stagger past me. "No," I murmured, meeting her stare. "Just thorough." She froze, breathing hard like she couldn't believe I'd reversed the tables. Clive tried to rush out, pushing through the mob, but the doors flung open again. 2 police officers walked in. "Mr. Grant," one of them stated, his voice flat. "You're wanted for interrogation in connection with corporate fraud." "Let's go." Clive stopped abruptly, his face going slack. Reporters were already there, shooting pictures, their flashes lighting up the place like fireworks. I scooped up the divorce papers from the table, grabbed a pen from Dana, and signed them right there, my terms attached, not theirs. The mob surged, people pressing closer, asking questions. "Is it true?" someone screamed. "Did you set him up?" another voice called. I didn't answer. Just let the facts speak for themselves. Dana gave me a copy of the signed paperwork, her eyes gleaming. "You've got them on the ropes," she muttered low enough for just me to hear. "They thought this marriage was a financial strategy, a way to use you as their front. Now they're paying for it." I nodded, feeling the weight of the moment sink in. I'd strolled in here thinking I was getting a birthday party. Instead, I'd been handed a knife in the back. But I turned it around, stabbed them with their own blade. Rosalind tried to speak over Dana, her voice loud. "This is ridiculous. We'll fight this." But Dana just grinned, cool and lethal. "Go ahead," she said. "We've got more where this came from." I looked at Mia again, watching her disintegrate. She'd always been the strong one, the one who held it together. But now she was cracking. "Julian," she said softly, this time almost imploring. "You don't have to destroy us." I tilted my head, examining her. "You destroyed me," I stated. "The second you started lying, sneaking around, planning this. I'm just cleaning up the mess." Her lips quivered, but she didn't argue. She couldn't. The truth was out there, playing on that screen, spreading across the internet. Caleb murmured something to her, but she ignored him. Her eyes were still on me. I didn't care about him. He was just a pawn in their game, much as I'd been. But I wasn't a pawn anymore. I was the one calling the shots. The cops moved in, guiding Clive toward the door. He didn't struggle, just shuffled along, his head down. Rosalind followed, still clutching her napkin, her sobs stronger now. The reporters swarmed them, mics out, questions flying.